That down. Let's move on and talk about this, shall we? You know, Fantastic Four has had everybody buzzing ever since Kevin Feige finally made the announcement many years ago that Fantastic Four was coming. Then we had all the casting stuff. By the way, I think they've done a magnificent job with their casting. Absolutely magnificent job with their casting. Then they started putting out some images, including this image of a poster of Johnny Storm.
Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit.
See if you can get in there a little bit. That looks kind of like an older era, but a futuristic older era. It's like, okay, that looks like 1960s kind of art, but that ain't our 1960s. And that started a lot of us speculating that this was going to be a period piece. And some of us speculating, we talked about on the show, that we think that this movie is going to take place in another universe and in another reality. Well, Kevin Feige just did an episode of the brand new Marvel podcast. And during it, he revealed a couple of things. Number one, he revealed that Fantastic Four literally starts shooting the day after Comic-Con. So they go into production next month. They actually finally start shooting this thing next month. But he also revealed a bit about the where and when the movie takes place. This comes to us from comicbook.com, who wrote the following. And they're quoting Kevin Feige here in his podcast saying, "It is a period film. And there was another piece of art that we released, the one we just looked at, with Johnny Storm flying in the air, making a 4 symbol. There was a cityscape in that image," Feige elaborated. "There were a lot of smart people," thank you, Kevin. "There were a lot of smart people who noticed that the cityscape didn't look exactly like New York that we know, or the New York that existed in the 1960s in our world. Those are smart observations, I'll say." All right. So number one, we know when the movie's coming or when it's starting production. Expect a lot of leaked set photos. Number two, it is a movie that's a period piece. It takes place in the 60s. We talked a lot about this. Robert Meyer Burnett pointed out a lot of the different Time magazine covers that were in there from the original art that came out. The one that's behind me right now, actually, this is the original art. You can see all the 1960s kind of motifs and stuff like that. And then the image that Jonathan pointed out and brought up, that poster again, showing us a cityscape that is not really our world. Now, the thing that we've speculated about here on the show, which we could be right, could be wrong, totally speculation, has been that we recognize that at the end of the Marvels, maybe the most important thing that happened in that movie, The Marvels, was at the end as Photon crosses over into the other reality. And in that reality, there's an Earth. She's on some kind of space station. And we see Hank McCoy, a.k.a. Beast, talking about Charles Xavier, walking in and things. So clearly they're in a world, but in that world, the X-Men are there. And some of us speculated maybe that's the world in which this Fantastic Four movie will take place. And then we're going to have, what do they call them? Incursions?
Yeah.
We're going to have an incursion where we're going to have two different realities blend over. And that's how mutants and X-Men are going to come into the 616. For those of you who don't know, the 616 is the terminology we use for our Marvel universe. It's going to be coming over into the 616. Maybe that's what brings over the Fantastic Four into the 616. Obviously, there's going to have to be some time thing too, or maybe the Fantastic Four are in a completely other reality, where in their current reality, it's 1960s. They get incursioned into our reality, and it's, 2025, whatever. I mean, but clearly, there's some multi-dimensional hijinks going on. And whether or not we're going to get our Doctor Doom from that era or not, whether or not it's going to be the Galactus from that era or not, maybe it's the Silver Surfer. We're going to get the one Silver Surfer from the comics in that movie. Maybe that transitions into the more recognizable normal Silver Surfer later. I mean, I don't know. The possibilities are large. And the questions are many. But at least now we know what the starting point of this movie is going to be. The 1960s of a different Earth than ours.
Right.
Now, will that end up with them being in ours? We don't know for sure. That's the assumption. That's what I'm assuming. But you know what they say about assumptions? Assuming makes an ass out of you and you.
That's the saying.
That's the saying.
Exactly how it goes.
That's exactly how the saying goes. Makes an ass out of you, not me, but you. So, but that is the assumption, right? But maybe this is still its own one-shot movie where the entire movie maybe takes place in the 1960s in that other Earth. And then maybe in Avengers 5, we visit that Fantastic Four, who an event early in the movie, much like in Avengers Infinity War, Hulk starts the movie way off in another galaxy on the Asgardian ship, and then Heimdall opens a Bifrost, and Hulk ends up on Earth. Maybe the next Avengers movie starts with the Fantastic Four in their own world, and something brings them into this world. Maybe it's a Kang thing. Who knows?
Which would, unless other movies like Eternals, where that might have been an entire, we've theorized that might have been a different universe or whatever. This would be the first movie that we know for sure probably starts in a different non-616 universe. Whereas the others, they may have been in crossovers, but they didn't start there. You know,
let me think.
Multiverse of Madness started in 616 and then crossed over.
You know what? You might be. I remember there was a theory for a while, and Rob had this theory. I didn't think it was a bad theory. I think it's been proven that it's not the case. But at the time, I thought it was a pretty decent theory that Rob had. That maybe one of the reasons we haven't had a lot of connective tissue between the Marvel movies recently. Rob had this theory that maybe every single Marvel movie out since No Way Home has been in their own separate universes. Like maybe the Eternals movie takes place in one universe. The Shang-Chi movie takes place in another universe, and so on and so forth. And I remember thinking, that's oh, wait a minute. That might make sense. Now, I think they've kind of established that that's not happening, but I did like the theory a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right. I don't think we've had... Wait a minute. Maybe Doctor Strange 2 did start, because what came first? New York or America Chavez with her Doctor Strange running around in that multiverse area trying to escape?
Technically, I
think it started with that.
Well, technically, Spider-Man, I think, happened before that, because America Chavez was supposed to be in No Way Home. And then,
but I mean the opening of the movie.
Oh yeah,
the opening of Doctor Strange 2.
It's in New York with the star. Oh, you're right, because
right, but it starts with America Chavez with her Doctor Strange
hopping around, and then they go into there. So it did start.
So maybe it started there, but still. I mean, we've never really had a movie that is then set in another universe like that, right? So
we've only gotten glimpses.
It'll really be interesting seeing how that's all going to work out. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Miracle Made. Did you know that your temperature at night can have one of the greatest impacts on your sleep quality? If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Inspired by NASA, Miracle Made uses silver-infused fabrics and makes temperature-regulating bedding so that you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. When they arrived at our house, my wife Ann loved the feel of them so much, she couldn't even wait for me to get home to put them on our bed. Miracle Made has self-cleaning. These sheets are infused with silver that prevents up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. Miracle Sheets also have incredible comfort and quality. Miracle Sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. So go to TryMiracle, that's TryMiracle.com/Campea to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code Campea at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you will get a full refund. So upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to TryMiracle.com/Campea and use the code Campea to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's TryMiracle.com/Campea to treat yourself. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Kevin Feige has now confirmed what a lot of you guys and us have been speculating, that Number one, it's a period piece, but number two, it takes place in another world, another universe, another reality from ours. What do you think that ultimately means? Will the whole movie take place there? Will we end up with the Fantastic Four in our universe? Maybe they'll hold off on that until the Avengers movies. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.